Hey guys, it's Fida and today I've come up with a really delicious fried chicken recipe. This will be the most juicy and crispy fried chicken you've ever had. We're going to be marinating this in a mixture of buttermilk with some spices, which is going to be really good. And then we're going to take it out, coat it in some flour, and then we'll fry it. It's super good. The buttermilk will make sure that your chicken stays really juicy. Marinating is not only to develop flavors, it will also help to get rid of all the bacteria in the chicken. So it's helpful in two different ways. It gets rid of all the bacteria and also develops flavor. It's really good, really delicious. So without any further ado, let's get on to making it. So here I have taken 1 kg of boneless and skinless chicken. I have taken chicken breast. You can use chicken thighs also. If you want, you can go ahead and use chicken with skin or without skin, and if you want, you can use with bone or without bone. Anything will do fine. So let's cut up this chicken. So you can cut up your chicken breast in whatever size and shape you want. It's totally fine. You can make it big or small, but today I'm going to be making it into a larger size but very thin. So all the spices will get into the chicken, and also it will get cooked fast without burning the outer crispy coating. For that, I'm just splitting it right from the middle and then cutting that into pieces. Just cut it whatever way you want. It's totally fine. It's totally according to you. After we have cut it, let's just move that to a plate and continue doing the same thing with the rest of your chicken breast. So here I've cut up all the chicken pieces and it's ready for marination. Before that, we have to make the marinade. So here I have all my ingredients ready for the marinade, and let's get on to preparing it. So I've poured in 1.5 cups of buttermilk into this big bowl right here. If you don't have buttermilk at home, you can take 1.5 cups of milk and then pour 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice into it. And just wait for around 5 minutes, the buttermilk will be ready. Then into it I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of red chilli powder, salt as per taste. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, and 1 teaspoon of rosemary. If you don't have rosemary, you can use a teaspoon of oregano, or you can just avoid it. It's totally fine. And you can also use your preferable spices, what you want. It doesn't have to be necessarily what I'm doing. So just mix that up, and then we can put in all the chicken. You need all the chicken to be dipped in this marinade, or else the chicken will not absorb the flavor. Any parts which is undipped, the chicken will not absorb the flavor. So that's the reason you need to dip everything, all of the chicken, into the marinade. And there it's ready. So I'm going to set it aside for like minimum half an hour so that all the chicken can absorb the flavors. And it's fine if it is more than half an hour also. So let's make the flour mix while we're waiting for the chicken to get marinated. So for that, into a flat bowl, I'm just going to dump in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of cornstarch. The cornstarch will make the crispy chicken really crispy. Then add in 3 teaspoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. The baking powder is optional. As we're adding the cornstarch, it's fine if you don't add it also. Half a teaspoon of ginger powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, salt as per taste. I'm just adding 3 teaspoons, white pepper 2 teaspoons, and fennel seeds powder. I'm just adding around 1 teaspoon. And for this also you can use the spices that you want, it's totally up to you. Just mix that up until well combined, and here the flour mix is ready. So now we can start dipping our marinated chicken in this flour mix. So about half an hour later, I'm just going to transfer this chicken into the other plate because we have to dip it twice, so we need the buttermilk mix again. That's the reason I'm just going to move all the chicken to the other plate. So I've moved all the chicken aside, and into the buttermilk, I'm going to add in a little bit more of plain buttermilk because we need a lot of this mix because we're dipping it twice. That's the reason we need more of the mix. Just give that a small mix. And then take one piece of the chicken, dip it in the flour mix and coat it really well. You always need a really thick coating, and always make sure to keep one hand dry so that the flour mix doesn't get crumbly. If you use a wet hand in the flour mix, what will happen is the flour mix will just start crumbling up and will not work properly. So you can keep one hand for the wet ingredients and the other for the dry. Dip it again in the buttermilk and coat it the second time in the flour mix. Let's just transfer that to a plate. Continue doing the same thing with the rest of your chicken. And it's always better to do 2 coatings because you need a really thick coating so that it becomes really crispy. And you should also make sure you tap off all the excess flour. Continue doing the same thing with all of the chicken. In here, I've done all of the chicken and I've transferred it to a plate. So all we have to do is just fry this. For that, here I have a pan, poured in enough oil and it's just heating. And after it's about a medium heat, I'm just going to drop in these chicken pieces. Do not put it on really high flame, and if the oil is too hot, it will just suddenly burn and the inside will not cook. That's the reason it should be like very medium flame. And let each side cook really well, and once one side is halfway cooked, let's just turn it over and just let the other side also cook the same way, and just keep rotating after each side gets golden brown. And also make sure you don't overcrowd the pan. If you overcrowd the pan, these chicken pieces will absorb the heat of the oil and then it will not be perfectly and evenly fried. So once both the sides are really fried and the inside also is fried, let's just move it into another plate. Here the fried chicken is ready. Continue frying it in the same way. Fry the rest of your chicken in the same way and it should be totally ready. So there you go, the fried chicken is totally ready. And I'm just gonna cut it and show you after it's cooled. So you can already see it's a really crispy coating. And here you can see that the inside chicken is really juicy and soft. Buttermilk always make the chicken really soft. That's the reason we're using buttermilk in this. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked it, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up down below. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Thanks once again, and bye bye.